Hello friends, welcome back. So this is the tutorial is continuing the previous tutorial where we had discussed why string is immutable, and in the last session we had a discussion about how the string constant pool is playing the vital role to optimize the memory, and how it's has enforced Java people to make the string immutable, right? So last time we have seen the region, and we saw like how the memory are organized with the string constant pool. So if you have not watched and go through the previous video, I would suggest go through this. You will come to know why string is immutable, and what the role string constant pool play. Okay, and that was the one of the basically the reason that string is immutable. So now we will discuss the second reason of why the string is immutable. So before going ahead with the second reason, let's discuss about the string hashing, right? So we are going to discuss about string hashing. String, let's say, hashing. String hash cache. String hash cache. Okay, so we'll have to discuss this to understand the second reason. Okay, why string is immutable. So to understand this string hash cache, first thing you must understand, suppose if you are creating a variable called string str is equal to hello. Okay, so for each string object, okay, string object contains the hash code of the particular string. And how the string is calculated, hash code is calculated. So hash code is calculated by the JVM based upon the each character that we have stored as a part of string, right? So let's say string is the str is the one of the reference variable which is pointing to the hello. So let's see the memory representation of string str hello. So this hello object will get created, okay, and the s will be referring to this object. So with the hello string, one of the the attributes is the hash code, okay, that string s object contains, okay, and this is not going to be changed for each call, right? So let's see how it works. Okay, so let's see if you are doing this s dot, okay, hash, sorry, uh, str dot hash code, okay, and here instead of str let's take hash, so that this will be the better example while comparing with our memory layout. Okay, and again we are creating s dot hash code, okay, and let's debug this. So control shift B, putting the debug point over here, okay, and let's run this in a debug mode. Okay, so if you see here string 1, okay, this string variable, click here and let's step over, right? Either you can press F6 and you can come over here and do the step over. So once the variable is initialized, if you see here is hash is 0. So far we have not calculated the hash code, okay, of s. So once it will ask for the hash code, it will always remain the same hash code for the s, right? So if you see here, the value is hello, okay, associated with that object, and hash is 0. Now if you calling the hash code, and then and there the hash code will get calculated. Okay, so hash code will get calculated based upon this 5 character. Okay, so let's step into F5, okay, or you can press this one, step into F5, okay, uh, it could not went step into. Okay, it should have gone inside that. So let's, if you calculated s dot hash code, okay, it calculated the hash code. Okay, I wanted to show you the how the hash code gets calculated. Okay, so if you go here, let's implementation, attach source code, let me add the class path. So let's try to run it again. I wanted to show you how it gets calculated. Okay, so let me break this and debug, start the project in debug mode again. Yeah, so let's do the first step over, and here, okay, it will go inside the hash code. Okay, step into. Okay, so this is the hash code method inside the string dot class. So if you see here, int h is equal to hash, so whatever the hash code will get calculated, it just stores. The first time you are calling the hash code, so first time the hash is 0. Okay, hash is 0 and value dot length, so value is our hello, right? So length is 6 is greater than 0, right? Step over, right? So it will come over here and you stores the value, all the hello value into the character string, right? And thereafter will be started the iterating over the character, and for each character we will be calculating the hash code, right? So value dot length, so hello is length is 5, so it will calculate. There is some formula defined, standardly defined by the Java. So 31 multiplied by h plus value of I, ASCII value is taking and it's calculating. So it will be keep going, okay, till the hash code is calculated. Okay, so if you see here, finally the hash value of the hello is stored over here. Okay, hash, right? And it will assign, currently is 0, and whatever the hash over is here, it will assigned over here, right? So if you mouse over this, so the value of this hash will be this, and this will return over. Okay, now the hash code is calculated, right? So now let's take and call the another time hash code, right? So again go step into. So here if you see, now the hash code is already available, because Java calculate the hash code only once the lifetime of that object, and that will get stored, okay, over here. I told you, over here it will be permanent saved here. Okay, as long as this object is available in the memory, this hash code will be available, right? So now the hash code is available, so this time it will not calculate, right? And it will come out and return. So let's see, you need to get the hash code again and again for let's say 50,000 time or 60,000 time, and you are again keep calculating the hash code, how much the performance will degrade. So for that only the string immutable class is not keep changing the hash code, it only calculates the first time, and it caches the hash code in the string object. So now the question comes, how it is beneficial for us? So in which case we will be keep calculating the hash code, right? So let's assume, first let me show you, like whenever you are doing the operation, like let's say example of the hash map. So for each time if you are putting the key value pair in the hash map or getting the key value pair in the hash map, in which bucket from 0 to 15 the default size of hash code, hash map, where it is located, we will have to calculate the hash code, right, to identify the particular bucket, and then that will go to the particular bucket and it will fetch. I will not go detail about the how the hash map internally works, and if you want to see, you can view my another video that I have already created. But for now you need to understand that whenever you are using the method of either put or get, the hash code is the one which decides the parameter, like on which bucket your item or your data has been put, okay, over in the linked list, right? So let's see, let me first show you, so that you can understand for each time if you are putting or getting the element, okay, your hash codes are getting called. So let's say I am just creating one class, let's say hash demo class, hash demo, right? And here let me override the hash code. Go to source and implement the hash code. Okay, and here let's type out hash code is getting called, right? And thereafter let's here create a map. Okay, map in, let's say map, okay, m is equal to new hash map, okay, hash map, and here let's put a key value pair. Is the key is the this, okay, and value is, let's say, integer, and same thing we can put or we can leave. Okay, and thereafter m dot put, okay, and let's put key as a hash code. Okay, so let's say new, and I am creating the object of this as demo. Okay, and here let's value I am putting 101, right? Creating an object and storing over here, and m dot compute map for the argument system int. Okay, then instead of integer, for better let's take int. Okay, it will not take. Okay, so we are just putting y compute man m dot put, right? So we are storing the value, and thereafter we will try to get that also. So m dot get, okay, object, let's say I'm object key, better to put into the variable alt shift l, okay, key, okay, and key will over here and it will get. Okay, so try to run this. So if we are using the put or using the get, in both the cases the hash method will get calculated. Okay, it means for each event of the hash map, either put or get, the hash code method it gets called, and inside that logic that has been written, if one time it gets calculated, no need to call and calculate the no need to calculate the second time if it is immutable, right? But in the case of mutable, each time it will give you the different result, right? So let's run this first. So if you see, hash code is getting called and hash two times. Okay, in the case of put and in the case of get, the hash code method are getting called. So this was the demo to just show you, like for in the case of put and get, okay, hash code method is get called. So now come into the string point. Okay, so let's see if you are storing the string key value pair, right? So instead of let me put another one. Okay, so here let's say in here string, okay, and here integer, okay, and thereafter I will putting hash map, and over here hash map dot put, okay, and here let's say I am putting Java, and value let's say putting 1, okay, and why it's computing command again, hm put, right, and thereafter hm dot get, okay, and thereafter, okay, we are just getting java, right, as a key value pair. So if you see this in the both the cases, internally map is going to call the hash code, okay, both the times, okay, obviously this will not get called, okay, the string method hash code will get called, okay, and in that case it will call the hash code, but only one time it will calculate. So imagine if there is a length of the string is 1000 character, okay, and each time in the case of put and get, you will be using obviously put and get multiple times, so get can be used the 1000 times to get the key. So each time what will happen, if the each time it will calculate the hash code, obviously it will degrade the performance. So that's why only one time in the case of put or get, only one times the JVM calculates the hash code and it cached into the string object. It will be remain cached until the object remains in the memory, right, and each time he will calling the get maybe the 1000 times. You don't require to calculate the hash code, it will be already cached, and have inside the hash method it will return the hash code that has already cached. So this is the basically a second reason why string is immutable, and this can be done only in the case of immutable, because it will not allow you to change the object, and if the object is not getting changed, okay, so for each time for this hello string, because based upon each character the hash code is calculated and cached, right, so it will not allow to change the string of that object, and that's why if the object is not getting changed, okay, and it's already caching into the string object, it will remain forever as long as your object remains in the heap or in the string constant pool, right. So this is the second reason why the string is immutable. So that's all about the string mutability and the difference between the immutability, okay, a difference with immutability, and why the string is immutable. So we saw the two reason to become this. We take into the to the world of the string constant pool, where we saw why string is immutable, and the second reason is using the case of hashing. Using the case of hash map, okay, we generally cache the string, okay, so that for each time whenever using the get, okay, 1000 time or 10,000 time, you don't require to calculate the hash code because string object caches that. So that's all about so if you have a time, see you in the next tutorial. Thank you. Please like, share, and if you like this, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.